Today is a very special day. We should be excited, very joyful, because we have freedom. Some generation didn't have it, and they had to pay with their sweat and blood. Whilst we prepare my session for presentation, I think in the name of Independence Day, I would plead with all of you to be on your feet as we sing the national anthem. And our sound engineers, if you could help us. Okay. Good. All right. So we are going to sing our national anthem. Please, on my mic before. Okay. And as we're going to sing this, I want you to sing with your heart and soul. Today we are 69 years old. In fact, if you have a granny or parent, I'm sure you could see the states of a 69-year-old parents, the kind of life they've lived, the legacy they've built, the babies they born, and how they taking care of them throughout their life. So our nation, Ghana, had been a very good mother for us. Today we enjoy electricity, internet, free education, among other things. And that was a price some generation have to pay for us to be here. So on my mark, we're going to collectively sing the national anthem. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What is happening? Okay, so with the... One, two. God. You should be excited. Thank you. Please, let's have a seat. Could you please push the screen forward a little bit for me, the team? All right. So today is a very special day, as I shared earlier. We're 69 years old, and I think about 90% of the population here are still under 25. We have few 40s, 50s. Do we have a 69-year-old here? Yes, we have one. It's Ghana. All right. And please, if you can tilt it so the people on the side could have us. Good, right. Thank you. So as we look at Studentpreneur Innovation Festival on the team, okay, I need to get closer a little bit. Freedom to create, emerging technologies, and the rise of the Africa studentpreneur. I'm going to lead a very short presentation on how far we've come as a nation, as a continent, what price has been paid already for us to enjoy what we're enjoying today, and what it means for 21st century young people to fight for independence, and what sort of fight we have to fight, and what it looks like. So, building the future we want through emerging technologies. Last year, we had a session like this where those who were here at the time, through the work we have been doing over the past 10 years, as we look into building our independence for the 21st century. Today we're going to go back a bit into history to understand what fight was fought. I'm sure most of us here, our history book today might not be teaching us a lot of that. My name is Joshua Opoku Agyemang. I lead the IOT Network Hub, which is a 10-year organization funded to ensure that Africa will prepare for the future and what is coming. Aside that, I lead a number of startups and organizations in the country. I had a chance to work with a number of government agencies. I work with the universities in Ghana. I do a lot of work within the ecosystem as far as technology, young people, education, and entrepreneurship is concerned. So today we're looking at the Fire for Freedom, 6th March today. I'm sure every Ghanaian is excited. It's also a public holiday, so no stress from work. And as we begin to reflect what it means to have independence today, what 69 years have meant for us, some of the things that is very exciting was that Ghana was the first African country within the Sub-Saharan desert, Sub-Saharan Africa, to have gained independence. What it means is that we became the model for other countries to learn from. That was a path our forefathers set for us. And that has also led to a lot of things that have been for us. So one of them was shaping our destiny as a nation. Because of the fight our forefathers fought for independence and being the first African country, it's put Ghana on the map globally for our destiny being set. Outside that, it also helped us in building our own systems. The fight for independence gave us the power, the autonomy to have control of our resources, to start building our systems. And through that, we have most of the industries that we know of, from Akosombo Dam to all the things you know about what Nkrumah leadership did at the time. That was the freedom they had to fight for. Because before then, they didn't have that freedom to do all that. Then we also have owning of our innovation. I'm sure most of you have heard that some years ago, Ghana, we were building our own cars, our own shoes, our own television set, radio set, among other things that were happening in the country. At the time when they fought for freedom, they had the power to also build their own innovation. We'll see what's happening today. Then finally, we have the opportunity to, once in our lifetime, to create our own future, which was also part of what our forefathers, led by Nkrumah, envisioned for our country. The kind of Ghana they saw at the time where education was free for everybody. Jobs were available in abundance. Minerals was accessible to Ghana and Ghanaians to build our economy, among other things. So this is what freedom at their time meant for them. Ownership of the resources, the ownership to build their own systems, the ability to shape their own destiny, and the freedom to build their own innovations. That's what was captured in the fight for independence in 1957. Now, as I mentioned, the 19th century to the 20th century, all the fights that Ghanaian forefathers led also inspired other African countries to fight the same battle. And it also was culminated in what they call the African unity. Now, we have the rise of the African nationalism, where today, as we speak, we've seen a lot of political consciousness where a lot of African leaders are beginning to think and see what the earlier generation fought for. And we see the likes in Rwanda, in Burkina, among other countries. And in Ghana too, after we have resetted our agenda. Then we also see the movement on grassroots mobilization. A lot of civil society organizations are rising up, a number of them here in Ghana. A number of the youth organizations here in this room are also doing that. It's also a rise of African nationalism, where we want to start owning our own future, our own technologies, our own innovation, and defining what our future should look like. Then we also have the organized resistance, those who are fighting against what our predecessors fought for: political stability, political structures, leadership structures, corruptions, among others. Then finally, we're looking at a new leadership. It's also one of the things that is embodied in the African nationalism. Now, independence movement across Africa start with the organized resistance, united vision, mass mobilization, and that's what has been the path for us since the earlier fight. Now, Ghana leads Africa in 1957 in independence. A lot has been shared on that. And that dream of Pan-African unity brought shared vision, solidarity, strategic advantage, and collective progress. Now, what independence had helped us achieve, also have mentioned a number of that shared. The end of colonial rule. Now we have self-governments and self-government now, as Nkrumah said at the time. We've been able to build our foundations, our road, our classrooms, infrastructures, and other things. Have a national pride. We are proud to be Ghanaian and African, and we're not ashamed of that. And wherever Ghanaians go outside Africa, they excel. And when you travel outside Ghana and you call yourself or you confidently tell people you're Ghanaian, they respect you for that. So these are all global impacts that our independence has brought to us. However, we have an unfinished business. The freedom our ancestors fought for had changed or had evolved. In the 21st century, what we're fighting for might not be with weapon and battle, but then we have a very big battle to fight, and that we'll look at that. So we're looking at economic dependency. In as much as we have the freedom to build our innovation, do all the things that they fought for earlier, we still have dependency on economy. We also still have technology gap. All the technologies we're using are mostly imported. We don't have our own chat systems, our own AI systems, among other technologies, which we have to depend on colonial masters to use these technologies for our work in our life. Then finally, intellectual infrastructure. When we invent innovations, it's not being protected. But when Ghanaians go abroad to study and invent innovation, they take ownership of that. So intellectually, the best minds that leaves our country, when they go there, whatever they innovate and build and invent, it doesn't come back to us. So that's also another unfinished business we need to fight for in the 21st century. Okay. Now, as we look at the new battlefield, it's very exciting that we are in the age of digital transformation, AI, and emerging technologies. And the challenge for us young people is that we need to leverage on these technologies to fight for our independence. The independence we are enjoying, the freedom and justice, was not designed for us. It's the foundation for us to build on top. And for us to be able to build that independent for the next generation, we need to make sure that we are shaping the future with emerging technologies. So I was excited when the earlier partners came to share the work they are doing in AI, robotics, and all that. That's the part we have to take. And that's the collective part we all have to take to ensure that we are building the next independence for the next generation to come. Now, some opportunities that we have as a continent is 60% of our population are under 25. It means we have the most youthful population in the world. It's an opportunity for us. We also have young Africans, over 400 million of them, who are ready to innovate. Also an opportunity to drive this next mission that we have to do. Then we have 1.4 billion projected by 2050, new population adding up to our population. Currently, we are about 1.2 billion population as a continent. By 2050, which is 24 years from now, we are going to have 2.4 billion. So we're going to have a new 1.4 billion lives adding up to our continent. These are opportunities that when we're able to fight for our independence in the 21st century, it could be opportunities for us. Now, the rise of the Africa studentpreneur, we're looking at students becoming founders and not necessarily job seekers. I'm not saying looking for a job is bad, but the mindset that I have to go to university and there's a job sitting there waiting for you is not more there, and it's not for you. It wasn't an independence fought for us. It was for our parents. So after school, their job were guaranteed. In our generation, it's not. And that's a fight we have to fight to ensure that we are building more organization, creating more jobs for young people. We also need to have innovation labs in our schools. The paper and pen and exams is also for that generation. They are dying with it. Our generation, our freedom, our independence is having a place where we can innovate, we can think, we can solve problems. And that's what Innovation Lab does. Then we also need to be building solutions to our problems. We can't keep importing technology. If we keep doing that, just like what is happening with our cocoa and gold and oil, we hustle to grow them, produce them, but I don't think Valentine Day everybody here ate chocolates, did you? And even if you ate, it was expensive, about 30 cedis for a small bar with only 40% cocoa when the cocoa was grown here. So that's what is going to happen with our technology. If we don't build independence for our technology, we'll keep importing, they'll take away all our data, our sovereignty, our intellectual property, and we have to pay so much for them back. Then finally, our future workforce. The 1.4 billion population coming, they are going to need jobs. Who is going to create them? So these are all big questions we have to start asking ourselves as young people as we look into the future for our independence. Now, for us to be builders of the future, These are three key things we need to all possess. Our ability to imagine solution, imagination. It's a skill or it's a tool we all have as human. We all have the power to imagine a better life, a better future. So with our imagination, we can create both solutions. We need to also build innovation. So I'm excited. The programs have a lot of activities where young people are going to build solutions. Then we need to also look at how do we scale our technologies to impact our continent at large. And that's why Nkrumah kept emphasizing about the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it's tied to the total liberation of the African continent. When it comes to our generation too, when you build technology and it's just serving Ghana, it's meaningless. Until your technology can solve African problem, we're still going to have challenges with our independence on or dependent on technology from the Western countries. Now, technology as a liberation. Again, I'm excited again because our generation, we like technology. There are TikToks, there's smartphones. Even kids in the womb know how to operate smartphones before they come out, right? So that's an opportunity for us. But the point is, how do we ensure that young people who are passionate about technology are using the tool as a weapon for independence for the 21st century? And that's a message for all of us. The technology that we have is a very powerful tool, and we need to leverage on that to build our independence for the 21st century. Now, some of the things that we can look at is how do we apply AI for smart agriculture? Our continent is backed by agriculture. The backbone of our continent is agriculture. How much of technology are we building to ensure that we can grow to feed the world? Right. Also looking at financial inclusion. Right. We have challenges when it comes to infrastructure and delivering finance to every person in Africa. With technology, we can leverage on that. We've seen what mobile money have done. How do we take that further with AI to ensure that everybody can have access to financial inclusion, among other use cases? So African solutions will have to be built for Africa by Africans in the context of African challenges, and we understand our problems more than anyone, and it's our responsibility to ensure that we build that, and after building it, we should be able to scale them across all borders to the 54 countries of our continent, and that's how we'll build our liberation using technology. Right. So some of a few things that are encapsulated in our independence as we look into the future. One, we need to have our continental infrastructure. Two, we need to look at cross-border ecosystem. Three, we need to look at knowledge economy, research collaboration, among others. So as I'm wrapping up, this is a challenge to the youths. Today, everybody here is a youth, irrespective of your age. Right. So these are key things that I want to challenge all of you, that you need to learn tomorrow's technologies. The battles of the future are going to be fought with the technologies of tomorrow. So every young person needs to ensure that they are acquiring skills in this area. And we need to also ensure that after learning, we are building solutions to the problems we face on the continent and collaborate with others beyond our boundaries, beyond Ghana, collaborate with other countries to expand your solutions to other countries. Then let's carry the freedom forward for the next generation. So as I'm wrapping up, what is happening there? Can you click on my slides? I think you touched something. As I'm wrapping up, I just want to also give you a glimpse of what our future will look like. As we meet here again by 2057, when Ghana is 100 years, we are expecting to see a better Ghana. And okay, so this is the kind of Ghana we want to see by 2057. By 2057, when we're having our Independence Day celebration, which Ghana will be 100 at the time, I don't know if some of us will still be alive, but I know a majority of the young people here will still be alive in the next 32, 3 years to come. Right, so this is a new Ghana we need to envision. What is happening with my laptop, Chief? Okay, right. So I'm just wrapping up. Just want to give you a picture of what is possible. And Ghana is not the first to imagine this sort of development. All the developed countries are building their cities of the future. Dubai, China, Korea, US, all the countries are reimagining how they can use these technologies to build their city of the future. Now, as I end my session, I want to challenge all of you that the future that we saw, if we don't build it, nobody is coming to build it for us. So if not now, then when? We're going to collectively Read what is on the screen. 1, 2, 3. If not now, then when? If not us, then who? Right. We continue with this too. I am Ghana, I am Ghana, I am Ghana. And arise, 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 Ghana youths. Arise for your country, arise for your continent. Let's make Ghana rich, great and strong again. Thank you.